Switch.
Good morning. Good morning.
Question mark, is it?
Welcome to the 2017 Steel City Showdown. Yeah, what's up? You'll excuse me for reading this off my phone. We didn't have a lot of time to prepare it. Back in 2009, I met with Ryan Cahoon and Bill Bennett at a little bar in Swissvale, and I pitched them the idea that would become Steel City Robotics Alliance today. And my goals that night were simple: to get to know the other teams and coaches, to work together more often, and to strengthen our region. From fall and winter workshops to the local practice field, to pre- and postseason scrimmages, and multi-team demonstrations like the Maker Fair. Those dreams have become a reality. And today's event checks off another milestone goal on our list: to hold our first FRC off-season event here in Pittsburgh. By my count, we have 16 teams here today who have come out to play Steamworks. They are from Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia, New York, and even China. There was a lot of work that went into making today's event happen. The organization, planning, and execution was truly a collaborative effort. They included members of Titanium Titans, Girls of Steel, Sharp, Quasics, and many others. On behalf of the planning committee, I would like to thank our sponsors, including Carnegie Mellon University's School of Computer Science, the Robotics Institute, and the Software Institute for Software Research. And we would also like to thank the PAST Foundation and Wright-Patterson Air Force Base Education Outreach for providing the field elements. Finally, I would like to thank our volunteers. Without just Mike, there we go. Without your time, volunteers, today's event would not. During lunch break, we have arranged tours of some of CMU's robotics labs. Spots are limited, so sign up soon. There's links on the wall at the registration table. At this time, I have the honor of introducing the Dean of CMU's School of Computer Science, Andrew Moore. Andrew got his start in computer science as a teenager, writing classic video games for the 6502-based personal computers. He received his PhD at Cambridge University, developing new approaches to machine learning for robot control, and was a postdoc at MIT, where he researched robot juggling and manipulation. He joined the faculty at CMU as a professor of robotics and computer science, working in the fields of artificial intelligence and statistical data mining. In 2006, he joined Google to start a new engineering office, Google Pittsburgh, which has now expanded to take up several floors at Bakery Square. He was also vice president of engineering at Google, where he is responsible for Google Shopping. Andrew came back to CMU in 2014 to become the dean of the School of Computer Science. He is passionate about the impact of technology on the future of society, and we are very excited to have him here to kick off Steel City Showdown with a few words. Please give a warm and enthusiastic welcome to Dean Andrew.
He writes my boss's checks.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Can I have that a little bit more enthusiastically, please? Good morning.
Good morning.
There you go, fantastic. All right, so I'm really excited about today. And I just wanted to say a couple of short things. I've got some good news, some really bad news, and then some more good news. So you got to listen to these. So the good news is that you are all awesome. We really care about the people who are taking responsibility for learning about technology. And the excitement that I see today really makes me feel good about the future. So that's the good news. You are people that we're very, very proud of and admire, coming from all around the region and from the other world. So I cannot say how proud I am of you. But here's the bad news. You have a lot of responsibility. You are the people who are going to be responsible for saving the world. So that's kind of a downer. You have these skills, and you're going to see them demonstrated today, but out of all the people currently on the planet, it's the future technologists which are most important to us. Just as one example, I was down at the Pentagon yesterday talking about how to keep people safe in the middle of the 21st century, and the number one question was, how can we make sure that young kids in the United States and around the world are willing and able to learn the skills to actually save the world over the current century. And when I walk in here today with that ringing in my ears and I see you, I'm very excited about that. Now, this responsibility comes from the fact that not only is robotics pretty much the most interesting intellectual activity I can think of doing, it's also that the world has got a bunch of big challenges and big opportunities, and someone's got to be responsible for dealing with them, and it's going to be you. So going from the question of how do you rescue people during a flood, how do you manage to get rid of massive forest fires without endangering lives, how do you have it so that in a city where there might be, during a heat wave, homeless people perhaps unnoticed who are in real trouble, how can robots detect those folks? We have big projects at Carnegie Mellon getting ready for a worldwide food shortage in the middle of the century, where robotics are the one new tool we can bring to get ready for that. We have people working on literal robots which do the same kind of jobs that you're doing in the first competition, who are trying to have these robots find injured civilians in conflict zones and with very large quadricopters actually get them to safety before they lose too much blood. So all of these things, they're very interesting, but it's absolutely your responsibility. And the especially important part of this is you are the group of people who will be making decisions about how to deploy this technology. So I beseech you, don't only think about this as technology for its own sake. Think of this as you will be making the choices about how the middle of the century is going to be. I bet that one person in this room, maybe a couple of you, perhaps you're only 17 or 16 years old right now, in 20 years, you will be the person who makes a decision whether to send out a drone to save a person when you're not quite sure whether it's possible to save them. You will have these kinds of momentous decisions, and it'll be you. It's not the case that you're the nerds and a bunch of other people are going to make these important decisions. It's going to be you. Get ready for that. While you become these expert engineers and AI technicians, also look at the ethics and what it's like to be a real human being, thinking about other human beings, because you're going to have to do that as well. So that's the bad news. Just because you're really good at this stuff, you're going to have a lot of responsibility. But getting back to the good news, it's great. You are, because of the hard work you've done to get here, you're going to have very successful experiences during the rest of your education, and then you're going to be people who really have a reason to get out of bed every day in the morning, because you are the people with the power to change the world. So I'm very proud of all of you, and have a lot of fun today. Thank you.